Hello and welcome to another episode of EdTech Lunch Learn Live. I'm Joe Valver, your host for today, and one of the technology and facilitators for the Hamilton Township School District in Mercer County, New Jersey. For those of you that are joining for the first time, let me take a few moments to explain what EdTech Lunch Learn Live is and what we'll be going over today. EdTech Lunch Learn Live is a professional development broadcast that myself, Chris, and Cara, the other facilitators from the Hamilton Township School District, have started providing during remote learning. Yesterday, we had the opportunity to talk about Google Hangouts and Google Meet. During that broadcast, we learned a lot of different things. Okay? We learned that bandwidth can be a very, very fickle thing to deal with. So today, I've actually plugged in my Ethernet cable. I'm not using Wi-Fi, so hopefully that helps. Also, keep in mind that your bandwidth at home can also impact the signal and the feed that you're getting. So if you're getting a little lag, make sure, again, Netflix isn't streaming on 30 devices in your house, okay? Another thing to talk about is the chat. You might have noticed already that chat bar along the side is no longer available. We found that was a little bit of a distraction for our guests, as well as made it pretty difficult for our moderators to keep track of what was going on and posting links to important things like our PD check-in for our Hamilton Township teachers. Which brings me to my next point. I'm going to pull up my screen right now and pull up the, let's find it, presentation for today. Here we go. So, a little bit different than yesterday. Today, before I go any further, we'll be talking about Screencastify. I should have mentioned that. Screencastify is an extension that you can use with your Google Chrome browser, okay? And that's our topic for today. But back on topic with the PD check-in. For those teachers from the Hamilton Township School District that are looking to earn PD credit, you can get your credit by filling in the check-in form at the beginning of today's show and the checkout form at the end of today's show, okay? Cara has posted that form in our presentation. The short URL for today's presentation, which like yesterday, has a bunch of resources and links that you can use after our show is done to better acclimate you with today's topic, which is again, Screencastify. So up in the top corner here or there, I'm not too sure when the cameras are on, the bit.ly code S01.E02 EdTech Lunch Learn Live Season 1, Episode 2. That's the bit.ly for the link to today's presentation. And here on slide 2, you can either click on the HTSD PD credit check-in or, oh, and there's an arrow. These guys are great. What can I say? You can also type in that short URL, the bit.ly SCPDIN. It is case sensitive, so make sure those are all capitalized to go fill out that form to check in for your credit. And again, we will post the link to the checkout form at the end of the show. Now that we've gotten all of our housekeeping done, yes, let's move on with the show. So today's session, we're going to learn about the different ways video can be used during remote learning and in flipped classrooms. We spent a little bit of time talking about that yesterday, so I'm not going to go too in-depth with that again. The main focus of today's session is going to focus on using the extension Screencastify and the benefits of using it and the different ways you can use it to bring video into your remote learning classroom as well as your classroom when we get back into our buildings. Okay? So with today, Screencastify, some of the ways that teachers can use it, some of the ways that your students can use it. It's great, again, for morning announcements, giving instructions, okay? Screencasts, if you're not familiar with what a screencast is, it's what I'm doing actually right now. You can view the screen on your computer monitor and talk about whatever it is you're doing. So in this instance, I'm utilizing my microphone on my iMac at home to talk to you about Screencastify. And right now I have a presentation up that I'm discussing with everybody. And in a moment we'll go through and I'll show you how to download the application. Everything on my screen is being captured, okay? And that's what a screencast is, and that's what Screencastify does, okay? And then again, there's some examples here of how you can use it and even how your students can use it. Yesterday, we talked about some other topics that go into video. Again, we mentioned having a camera and microphone is necessary. Here are some of the apps that we've highlighted yesterday and we'll highlight for the next few weeks. Not going to spend too much time on that. I did want to point out, because I forgot about this housekeeping, Chris and Cara are checking the Tech Facilitator email as well as their Hangouts. So if you have any questions during the show or after, you can always reach out to us about that. Today's show also is being recorded and will be posted as well. Tips and tricks, we mentioned those yesterday as well. All right, so Screencastify, mentioned again, its goal is to record your screen, your voice, to give directions, whatever the case may be, so that you can have these recorded videos that you can use in class, to be posted in Classroom, to be shared via email, through Drive. You can post them to YouTube. These are recorded videos, so they're not live. Everything you do can be deleted and redone. You can take as many takes as you want, which is a little different than being live on something like Google Meet or Zoom, or like we're doing a live broadcast right now, okay? So for those people that are a little hesitant of doing those live videos, this is a great option that gives you a number of opportunities to do multiple takes until you get what you want, okay? Right now at the screen we're looking at Screencastify. There is a free version of it, and that's the version that a lot of us have been using for the past few years. It allows you to make videos for up to 5 minutes, okay? And it gives you options to trim your videos as well. We'll talk about the difference between trimming your video and editing your video once we get into it, okay? So let's do it. All right, so as I had mentioned, and let me close this little update here. As I had mentioned, Screencastify is an extension for the Google Chrome browser. So let's talk real fast about what are extensions, okay? Extensions basically do exactly what they're saying they do. They extend the capabilities of the Google Chrome browser, okay? So with Google Chrome, we can log in and we can bookmark and do a bunch of different things, but at some point in time, developers and third-party representatives said, hey, we can capitalize and offer you a number of different ways you can make this browsing experience even more impactful for your users. So they created these extensions, all right? How do you get extensions? Great question. On the top of your Chrome browser, right underneath your URL or Omnibox, you'll see your bookmark bar, and there's a button there that says Apps. Okay, I'm going to open up a new tab and do this so I can leave my presentation up. And when I click on the Apps button, give me 1 second here. I'm going to jump in here. Cara let me know that my screen, I'm going to go to full screen with our broadcast so that I don't hide anything. Thank you, Cara. Forgot to do that. That's why we're a great team. Okay, so now we're moving along. If we click this Apps button, it brings up a bunch of different applications that we have access to through our Chrome browser. And in there, one of the options is the web store. You can also just go up to the top of your URL bar and at any point in time, Google the Chrome web store. And one of the first hits is the Chrome Web Store, okay? And here you can search for a number of different extensions that you can utilize with your Google Chrome browser, okay? And one of the first ones we see there is Google Hangouts, which we kind of discussed. There's an extension for that. There's one that allows you to share websites and links straight to Classroom. There's a ton of different extensions out there for you to utilize with your Google Chrome browser. Since we know what we're looking for, and there's Screencastify right there at the top. If you're searching for something, you can type it up here in the search bar, okay? If you click on these extensions, you can get a little preview about what that extension is. Just like any other app store, if you're familiar with using iPhones or Androids, when you're searching for new applications, you can find reviews. Okay. We're going to click Add to Chrome. When we click Add to Chrome, we get a little pop-up asking us, do we want to add this extension, and it gives a little bit of a notification of what's going to happen with this extension. So here we can see it's going to display notifications. It's going to communicate with these cooperating websites, meaning it's going to record that stuff and capture our screen. So we're going to hit Add Extension. More or less we're saying, yes, we allow the capabilities of this extension to be utilized with our Chrome browser. And when we do that, we get a little pop-up and we can see that our extension is now appearing up next to the URL box or Omni box with all of our other extensions. So as you download more extensions and add them, they'll all appear up here next to one another. Okay. For those in the Hamilton Township School District, extensions can be downloaded and added for teachers and students. There are certain extensions that may come up as blocked. Okay. If you have any issues with that and there's something that you'd like to use, all you have to do is send an email to techsupport@hamilton.k12.nj.us. We'll review that extension and run it through curriculum and instruction to make sure that that extension is something that we want to make available to our teachers and our students. Okay. So that's only, again, if there's extensions that you're looking to use that aren't able to be downloaded. Okay. Now that our extension is downloaded, I can come up here and click on that extension